All right, so I will one-to-one partner up with you in your business and help you build out all of the offers, the lead generation systems, the automations, personal brands, like everything you actually need to build a six-figure online fitness coaching business. Six figures, multiple six figures. I run content to clients, and inside of that, we have what we call scale partners. Now, this is our one-to-one program where my wife and I actually come alongside of you one-to-one. We serve roughly 30 to 40 people a year inside of this partnership. And we literally, like I said, come alongside of you and help you build your business. That way you can actually serve the amount of people you want to serve, make more money, experience freedom, all the things you actually want for you and your family without having to just go out and figure this out on your own or join a course or a group program or anything like that. This is literal done with you one-to-one help, all right? And so that's what I'm gonna break down for you inside of this video over the next few moments. What our goals for you are is to get you landing 1 to 2 high-ticket clients every single week, all right? So what that looks like is typically our clients are charging anywhere from $300 to $800 per month. And I know that's a wide range, but it just depends on the coach, the offer, the niche, the deliverables, like what all is actually included inside of that. But typically that 300 to 500 per month range is where we really like to sit. So maybe you're already charging high ticket and you're curious like, hey, how do I begin maybe introducing things like peptides or blood work or gut health or some higher level things into my program. Maybe right now you're like, hey, how do I actually get to being able to charge $500 a month with even just like a basic program of fitness, nutrition, coaching, accountability? That is literally what we help you with. All right. So all of this without spending tens of thousands on ads, no cold DMs. You don't need a large following. I've helped multiple people. I'm going to do it for the next few moments. I'm actually going to show you 2 different things here in a second. I'm going to show you some different client results and people that I've actually helped. And I'm going to show you the money math of what it actually takes, show you a calculator, what it actually takes to reach 6 figures, multiple 6 figures. But I would say that the majority of people that we have served, that we've helped to get to 6 figures, multiple 6 figures. I mean, I've had clients literally hit, $25,000 months with 1,800 followers. All right. So most people I've served have had less than 3,000 followers. And that's what I'm going to break down for you, like exactly how we're able to do that. Now, quickly, I want to go over some of the money math here. I'm not going to be able to go over all of this in detail. And so like you can pause and you can look at this stuff a little bit more yourself, but some of the basic math of what it actually takes to reach 6 figures. All right. So I have 2 different things calculated. This is 2 different categories. This right here is how do we actually reach 6 figures? So $97,200. I'm going to show you the math on that. And then how do we actually reach multiple 6 figures? So how do we actually make $259,200? I'm going to show you the math on that as well. All right. And that's in one single like calendar year. All right. So if we have a very classic, like 1,500 12-week program, all right, this is like any and every niche. I mean, I was charging this back in 2016. All right. So like any and every niche can charge $1,500 for 12 weeks. If we were to come in and to land 2 clients at $1,500 over a 12-month period, you would sign 24 clients. All right, so 24 clients. 24 clients at $1,500 at the end of a calendar year would be $36,000 just in front-end revenue. I know that's a bad circle, but that'd be $36,000 in front-end revenue that you would generate for your business. Now, with the correct systems and program and stuff in place, if we're able to retain 70% of those, that means that 17 of those 24 people will re-sign back up to your program. And if we would sign them into a downsell of $300 a month for 12 months, so $3,600 total, that $3,600 would then turn into 36 times the 17 clients, another $61,200 that would be generated for you and your business, which if you add the $61,200 plus the $36,000, that's where we get $97,200. All right. So 6 figures literally off the back of just landing 2 clients a month, right? It's not even 1 client a week. That's 1 client like every 2 weeks, right? Now, if we go on the other side and we bump your prices up to a 2K 16-week program, which this is a really great offer that I love to get fitness coaches selling. It's super simple. You have to put things in perspective. It's like, how much are people spending on Ozempic right now? They're spending $300 to $500 a month. How much are people spending on all of these MLMs that they go out and they buy, this whole big package of 6 months worth of Optavia supplements and things, they spend 2-3 grand on something like that. What do people spend when they go out and get weight loss surgery, right? They go out and spend 40 grand on weight loss surgery. What do people spend on just all of the different drugs and things that they are taking? Somebody gets diabetes. What does that cost them, right? So when you really put things in perspective, a lot of coaches are like, how do you charge these high ticket prices? Like, you really have to put things in perspective. Like, what's the alternative? The alternative is they get into the medical system, and the medical system charges them hundreds of thousands of dollars over their lifetime. So $2,000 for a fitness program, when you really put things in perspective, is not a lot. It's actually a very cheap solution. All right. So if we were to bump this up from 4 clients a month from 2 clients a month to 4 clients a month, 4 clients a month okay, that's really bad error, but 4 clients a month, you get my point, would be 48 clients that we would enroll over a 12-month period. Now, 48 times the 2,000, that would be $96,000. Again, 70% of them retain, which means 34 of them re-sign back up. If we bump our prices up to $400 a month for the 12-month program, then that would be them signing back up into a $4,800 program, which would be $163,200 on the back end. I want you to notice, by the way, keeping clients is almost 2 times more profitable than actually getting clients. And that really is the game that we want to help you with, is how do we create a really good service where people want to stay, pay, and refer, and where you can actually build your business up, get a lot of recurring revenue, and have a lot of stability. But the 163 plus the 96 up here is where you get the $259,000. So literally just 1 client a week for the next year puts you at a $250,000 business, a multi-6-figure business. And I think it's so important conversation. This is an important conversation to have because so many coaches don't understand what it looks like to grow and scale, right? And so I know I made a lot of claims. We've served 221 plus clients since 2021. I got started as an online fitness coach back in 2016. I dropped out of college and started a business. By 2019, that business had turned into a gym, my gym, Kings Barbell. And it wasn't until 2021 that we actually got into consulting. So my wife still runs a fitness coaching business. We are actually in the process of I'm starting up another fitness business myself. And so we are like actively in the fitness market. And we have like a finger to the pulse of the market. Like we know what's working because we're actually in the market ourselves. And so here's several clients that I've served. Here is Ian. Talking about hitting a 14K month with 11 days off, 6 new clients signed, a couple re-signs. I went on to hit much bigger months, all right? I just liked this one because he was talking about taking the 11 days off. We're really big on intentionally designing your business and intentionally designing your life. Then we have Coach Steve over here talking about, hey, I just crossed a 15K month. Steve came to me with no existing business, getting started. He wasn't posting any content. The process is everything I'm going to show you, by the way, is, most people in these videos, I'm sure you've seen some of these, they tell you about, hey, check it out. Here's my car. And if you follow my process, you too can buy a car. And here's me on vacation and you can go on vacation. I'm literally just going to show you exactly what we do. All right. So with these processes, there's been more than 7.7 million in just online high ticket fitness sales, which is pretty crazy. I always I can't believe the number just across all the clients that we've served. Here's Jeremy talking about, like I said, hey, how many clients have you landed working with us so far? And he had landed over 32 clients. He keeps between 30 to 40 clients, came to us at about, and then here's Amber. Amber had not landed a client in about 6 months when she joined up. And in the second month of April working with us, 42 days into the program, she enrolled her 5th client and crossed her first 10K month. So let's go ahead and dive into how are these coaches actually able to do this. I'm going to show you a ton of different social proof and things as we go along, just so you can understand, I'm not just saying these things. This is stuff that we have learned in the trenches that we've been doing for the last 5 or 6 years. So the first principle, this is an important piece to understand, is that nobody joins up to a just random coaching program. All right. People don't buy a fitness coaching program from a stranger. And this is really the first principle to everything that we build on, is understanding this, all right? Because what you really ask somebody to do when they join up to a fitness program is you're asking them to change their habits. You're asking them to possibly wake up earlier or go to bed later. You're asking them to go to the gym. They've maybe not gone to the gym before, or they haven't gone in a long time. You're asking them to grocery shop different, to cook their meals different. Maybe they have to meal prep. You're asking them to really change a lot of their habits and routines. And so that is a level of respect as a leader that you have to earn before somebody actually will become a client of yours. And so that's the lens that I want you to view this entire video through, is that people only buy from other people that they feel like this person understands me, they get my problems, and this person actually inspires me. This person makes me believe that they can actually help me, all right? Again, that's a level of respect that we have to earn. And so the entire game is actually showing people that we understand the exact problems they're going through, that we have actually solved these problems ourselves, and that we can help get them to where they want to go, all right? We have to actually show up and be a leader and be somebody that other people want to follow. All right. And if you can understand that, then selling becomes really easy. And so the wrong question to ask, a lot of fitness coaches are just asking hey, how do I convince people to buy? And instead, we want to start asking is, how do I actually show up and build relationships with my audience? How do I actually show up and show people that I am a leader, that I am walking the walk myself, that I'm inspirational, that I'm aspirational, so that they can actually see me as their coach? That's the strategies and things that we actually help you with, all right? And here's Blaine, who implemented these exact strategies, and she's talking about in a single week, booking in 22 calls, and so far she had taken 9 of these calls and she had closed 7 of the clients. She went on to land 16 clients out of these 22 calls and had somewhere around a $32,000 month. All right, here's Austin. Win of the week, I onboarded 4 new clients on Monday. So just, for one single day, landing 4 clients. I filled my March clientele spots. I currently have 3 people on the waiting list for April, and I have 2 discovery calls booked for next week for when I get back. So she was on vacation. Again, understand the frame of all of this is all of these people have less than 3,000 to 5,000 followers. These are not people that have 40, 50, 60,000 followers. These are not people that have 250,000 followers, all right? These are small creators. These are real leaders and coaches. And again, when you understand these frameworks, completely shifts everything, all right? Here is Alli. Not my wife, Alli. It's a different Alli that we were working with. And she's talking about 3 official people signing up at $3,200. So that was actually $9,600 that she had collected in the first 12 days of the month. She said, I also have another one on Saturday, and I believe that person also closed as well. And she closed out somewhere between a $15,000 to $17,000 month, if I recall, this month as well. All right. Here is Zachary. Zachary talking about 2 for 3 this week, $5,600 cash collected. So he had a $2,800 8-week program that we would then enroll them into a long-term 12-month program on the back end. And this is also him here. This is Zachary as well, talking about 2 clients signed up for 12 months. So again, we would take him through an 8-week and we would sign him up into a 12-month. And that took him to over 30 clients on his roster. He was hitting between 20 to 25K months on average. And so again, I'm going to walk you through some of this stuff briefly. I have entire courses, hours and hours. I have 5-6 hours just on course material on these, just frameworks and things here. So I'm not going to go into detail on every single thing. I just want to give you kind of a high level overview of understanding, again, like what our process and our system looks like and how we come alongside of you one-to-one, help you install this stuff. All right. So the game and our view on social media, like our philosophical view on how to actually be showing up online, is that it's not about getting followers. It's not about views. It's not about going viral. All right. Like I said, all these coaches I've worked with had less than like 3,000 to 5,000 followers. These are smaller accounts that just build up a lot of authority. They're real leaders and they're playing the game of providing value. All right. It's value over views. If you can provide enough value to your audience, they will want to become a client of yours. So the game is being someone that other people want to be more like. It's showing up as a leader. It's positioning yourself as an authority figure so that other people would want to model after you life, and they would be like, dude, this person literally has this stuff figured out and I want to learn. I want to be mentored by them. I want to be coached by them. I want to figure out like what it is they do. And we do this by providing value, showing up authentically, and just understanding how to position ourselves properly online. And I can say all this, by the way, because I used to go viral all the time. As a fitness coach, when I first got started, I was playing the influencer game. Here's me doing 4.4 million impressions over a 28-day period. This was normal for me. This was not just like a good month. This was not like, hey, I just had a single post pop off that just went viral. It was like, no, I mean, you can see the charts down here, right? It's like things were kind of picking up here, but I mean, you can see it's like, hey, it's like this was July, this is August, like month after month after month, I was doing millions of impressions organically, all right? Here's me having a really big month on May 19th. You can see here, I did 9.1 million impressions. Again, this is organically, no paid ads, nothing like that. Had 102,000 people visit my profile, had 4,500 comments and mentions, like people that commented on my post, 4,521. So I know what it looks like and how to build a highly engaged audience. I know how to go viral. I've gone viral hundreds of times, and I'm telling you, I promise you that that is not what grows your business. All right, it is about showing up in the right way and understanding how to be positioned as a leader. All right, and again, Blaine, here she is talking about having a $5,000 day. Right, she's the one that I talked about earlier. That landed the 16 clients out of those 22 calls. Now here's a $5,000 cash collected days and $5,000 in the bank with like even more that's contracted that day in revenue. Here's Coach Vince talking about 1 for 1 today, feeling good about the 3 others as well. So far this was 7 signups to start this month. All right. So again, Vince came to me, small audience, less than 1,000 followers. I believe he had like 500 followers on Instagram. We're signing 7 clients. And it just shows you, like, when you understand how to position yourself. When he first came to me, he was landing like 1 to 2 clients in a single month. All right. And here we are 7, already at 7 for that month. He was stuck between like 2 to 3K months, and we were able to triple his business in the first 12 weeks. All right. So again, it's all about us understanding like how to position ourselves, right? It's like we have the 5 story pillars. And again, I can't go into like crazy detail on all of these stuff. I actually have free courses on all of this. So if you want to get, you've probably actually already gone through the courses, but like if you want to get access to those, let me know. I have a free school classroom. But we have our 5 core stories, and it's all about showing up and driving home this message on a day-to-day basis. It's showing ourselves living the lifestyle, building our businesses, actually coaching. We're showing up and we're leading. We're not just telling people what to do, right? It's like you can tell people what to do till the cows come home, right? But they're not going to listen because people want to be led, and that's the whole piece, right? It's like so many people are just like saying stuff online, but then like behind closed doors, they're not the person they need to be, and then they wonder like, why does my coaching business not grow? We step into leadership. We step into helping you see and understand like, who do you need to be? What do you need to do to be successful? Who do you actually want to be? What's the life that you actually want to build? What's going to get you passionate and excited and out of bed every single morning? We help you position that in a way where people see you as that leader, and you're able to actually lead, to grow, to thrive personally, and to be able to show up online in the online space as that person as well, right? We're sharing our beliefs. We're actually talking about our offers. Like, again, when you understand how to be showing up on your stories, when you understand how to be showing up on the timeline with long form content, things like YouTube and podcasts, like when you understand like the different formats and like what should I actually be talking about? What should these videos actually be? What should these podcasts actually be? And how do I actually connect with people in the DMs? Like, how do I get to where people are reaching out to me, right? How do I get to where people are reaching out to me saying, hey, I've been watching your YouTube videos. I've been consuming your content. Like, I'd love to learn more about like what it is you do, grow your business. All right. And then it comes down to the lead generation system. So this is all about content. Like, how do we show up correctly? Then we have to have a lead generation system in place. Most coaches, even if they are showing up correctly, like they don't have a real lead generation system in place. And so this is the issue in 2026. Most coaches, they live in 2 polar opposite worlds. They either have free stuff or they have high ticket stuff. And there's nothing in the middle. So it's either like, hey, everything's free, or hey, it's $3,000. Everything's free, or it's $7,000. And guess what? Like, nobody's buying because it's just a really big ask. We're asking strangers to make these big commitments and take these big leaps of faith. And so that is where we have what we call bridge offers. All right. A bridge offer is the small little micro offer. It's the small little micro step where we take our social media followers and we get them into something that's either free or something that's low ticket. Like, we take them through some sort of bridge offer. They go through that. And then the people that make it through the bridge offer, it's almost like a filter, right? The people that filter through that, then we offer them our legacy offer. We offer them our actual like high ticket offer. So for instance, one thing we do is we do free challenges, and we have a special way that we run free 7-day challenges. and how we actually like indoctrinate and we teach and we educate people over 7 days to actually like warm them up and take them from being this cold stranger who doesn't understand us to seeing us as this leader, seeing us as this person that has this stuff figured out. We show them, again, all of our content. We show them the right content to actually like warm them up. So here is my wife talking about like, hey, getting 18 ladies signed up to her program or to her challenge. Here she is talking about like one close for the day, working on another. I've still got 5 other offers on the table. She has 118 ladies that have joined up to her in-person event. So one of the, we have like 6 or 7 different bridge offers that we run. And one of them is an in-person event. And so here she is with 118 ladies joining up to that. Here she is talking about 28 ladies joining up to the 7-day challenge. I said, hey, let's get that thing over 35. You can see then later that night at 8:11 p.m. Here she is with 31 ladies joined up. Another thing I'm going to show you here in a second is the mini VSL call booking funnel. Here is Sam. This is a screenshot that I take from him talking about 50 people had opted into his call booking funnel, and 5 of them had actually joined up to his program. He's like, I didn't send them DMs. I didn't do anything. They just opted in. They got the automations. They booked in a call, and they ended up signing up to the program. So I'm actually going to show you that here next. This is what we call the content client funnel, and this is what Sam was talking about here. And so, you know, the way we're showing up, like a big piece of it is all about this front half. It's all about having the correct content, positioning ourselves correctly, showing people like who it is we are, and being that leader in the online space. So we have our organic profile, and then we have inbound and outbound DMs. So in other words, we're reaching out to some people, but then also we're creating a world where other people reach out to us as well. And the goal is to really just channel people into as much content as possible. All right. We believe in leading first. We believe in providing value first. We're not trying to go viral. We're not trying to be influencers. We're not trying to just get a bunch of views. We believe in providing as much value as possible, because if we can get people to receive value from us first, not only do I believe, first of all, like as a Christian, that these are just like kingdom principles, but when we provide value to people first and they actually see how good we are and they consume a lot of our stuff and they go, whoa, this coach is actually really smart. They actually know a lot of stuff. This was actually really useful. This was really helpful. It makes the sale just so much easier. So Google has what they call the 7-11 rule, 7-11-4 rule. And basically what it states is that a person is going to have to consume. So Google did research and they were like, what does it actually take for a person to actually join up to like a coaching program or to actually participate? Like what's it actually take for somebody to purchase some sort of like online service? And what they found is that the average person is going to consume 7 hours of content. So typically what this looks like is people come into our world, they start viewing our stories, you know, they follow us, they see us on the timeline, and then eventually they find our long form content. So whether it's a YouTube channel or a podcast, and they'll start consuming that. And just the way these long form platforms like YouTube, for instance, is set up is people will go in and they will like, here's a video that I posted 5 months ago, and you can see it's only got 210 views. So we're not trying to go viral, but the video itself is 2 hours long, right? Now, I'm going to assume that all 210 people didn't watch the whole thing in its total, but let's say 100 people watched all 2 hours of it. That is 200 hours of content that people just consumed from my business. And if I provided a ton of value in that, you know, this person goes from watching this 2-hour video to watching another hour video to watching a 30-minute video to another 2-hour video. And before long, like if they have just consumed hours and hours of my content, like all the competition becomes irrelevant. I've already provided so much value. I've already been so useful. I've already helped them so much just in all of this content they're consuming that I'm the only person they're going to consider working with. And that's what the content client funnel is really built on. It's built on this principle of we show up, we provide value, we're actually useful, we're actually helpful, and it makes everything so much easier. Then we take them to our mini VSL. It's just a short video that kind of breaks down like our story, who we are, what our program is, how we actually help people. There's some email automations that get sent out with this, and the goal then is to get them booked in for a sales call. All right. So again, here's my wife. Another bridge offer we do is quizzes. So here is 7 quiz submissions. So super cool. That was the day we actually launched it. Here's Michelle talking about 10 new clients in a single week. Again, this is just off the back when Michelle came and signed up. She hadn't been landing any clients. It had been somewhere like half a year to a year since she had been landing like consistent clients. And we were able to sign 10 clients in the first week of us working together. Here's Juan talking about crossing a 22K month. Here's Steve, 5 for 5 on clients with one of our Black Friday plays. Here's Christian. He came to me. He didn't have any sort of program. Here he is talking about, I am on month 1.5 into the program. I'm just shy of closing in on my first 10K month. Again, just when you can get the right content and the right strategies and the right funnels and the right things in place, it completely changes everything. All right. Here's another coach talking about, based on our call, I had a goal of 4 calls. I ended up finishing with 13 discovery calls booked, and 8 of those people signed up to sales calls. So again, it's just like when you understand the right systems and the right things to get in place. 40 people RSVPing for another event here. Here is $8,749 cash collected since Monday. That's like money in the bank. Again, it just shows you like the power of like having this stuff. Here's Vince, 10 sales calls on the calendar this week. That would have been a good month worth of calls, you know, and it's happening now in a single week. So what I want to dive into next then is, so understanding the bridge offers, understanding like how you want to get the correct funnels and things set up. We're providing lots of value. We're pre-selling, nurturing people. Then it's about signing people into these high ticket offers. All right. So what is these high ticket offers? What do they need to look like? Well, the reason a lot of coaches are struggling to sell programs right now in 2026 is because they're not providing a lot of value. All All right. They are just trying to sell like, hey, here's a workout split and here's some macros. And they're calling that a fitness program. All right. It's 2026. That is no longer going to cut it. My best clients are doing things like blood work. They're doing gut health. They're exploring things like peptides. And it's not always that we have to do high level things like that. I mean, some of my clients even do things like, hey, like I just put together Instacarts for my clients every single week so that they don't have to think about what to grocery shop, what to cook. Like I provide them the Instacart links. I provide them the cookbooks, everything they need to be able to provide for their family, right? So there's different ways we can provide value. We don't have to go like be like a PhD, like doctor level blood work type thing. But the overarching point is that if you're just trying to sell workout plans and macros in 2026, like it's just not going to cut it. First of all, you're not even really providing a very good service, in my opinion. And number two, it's just like that's not going to be competitive when you understand like what other fitness coaches are doing in the market. But the best coaches, they are selling transformation blueprints. All right, we're selling transformation blueprints, and we sell these based on our own story. So to be able to do this, you have to be clear on your unique identity and your perspective that your program like actually comes from. So in other words, all the way back to this, I hope you can see all this stuff is building on itself. You have to understand like who you are and what your story is, and you understand how you are as a leader and how to actually show up correctly, because then that is what we're actually selling, right? And then if you have the right bridge offers and the right funnels and things in place, it's like we just create this system where people are just like coming into our world. They see our content, they're getting lots of value, they're attracted to our message, they get into our challenges, they get into our bridge offers, they go through those, they go, wow, this is really amazing. And then our offer just becomes a natural extension of that, right? We're just selling people on the stuff that we've already done. We're selling people in the journeys and the transformations that we ourselves have made. And actually architecting like real client journeys. Like I said, like I have clients that are just doing all these different ways and providing value in all these different ways. And it's like actually being genuinely useful and helpful to our clients. And that's when, when we can begin to sell these transformations, not just a workout split, not just macros, that's when things really begin to change. All right. I love the Zig Ziglar quote. He says, you can have everything you want in life if you will just help other people get what they want. And that's really the recurring theme when it comes to offers and charging high ticket is like, we just literally have to help people get results, right? There's so many fitness coaches right now that are just selling like really just like trash programs, in my opinion, where they're just like not providing very much value. They're just like, here's a workout, here's some macros. Inevitably, when the person falls off, it's just like, oh, like they just must not be serious. Oh, they're just not dedicated. Oh, they're just lazy. Like they're not disciplined, right? And they're just like not literally helping people. And so like we don't do that, all right? We actually come in, we figure out who are we serving? What is the problem this person has? What kind of promise and process do we actually need to create for them? Like we actually create our own unique solutions and programs. And, again, it's like booking in 6 calls, closing 5 people to pay in full, 2 more calls on the calendar for tomorrow, right? Like when you understand like what to actually be selling, how to actually be genuinely helping people, Callow over here talking about 8K in 8 days, right? He has like a $5,000 program we were selling. Here's Ian back-to-back 10K months, right? Again, it's like when we understand like what to actually sell. And the way that I want you to think about this is like the best coaches in the world do this. All right. The best coaches in the world are not, they're selling a philosophy. They're selling a blueprint. They're selling a transformation. They're not just selling a workout program, right? It's like Louis Simmons has like the West Side Conjugate system. I've literally got all of his textbooks right over here. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 5, 6 or 7 different textbooks that I have literally over here. He created a philosophy and a way of lifting, a way of doing fitness. And again, so many fitness coaches are like, hey, here's like a 3x8 workout plan. It's a 4-day split. Pay me $500. And it's just like, no, it's like, that's not going to be good enough, right? In 2026, it's not going to be good enough. Wim Hof has like his Wim Hof method, Mark Ripto, starting strength, Liver King, ancestral tenets, right? So some of these like Liver King, like obviously had like a total meltdown, but like, I hope what I'm really trying to drive home here is like the best and biggest brands and the best coaches, they all have their own philosophy, right? They all have their own philosophy. It's not just here's a workout plan and here's some macros. They all have like a legitimate system, a legitimate method that, and it's not just something they name, right? They don't just like come up with the name and just go like, oh, we're just going to call it, the functional 45. It's like, no, like functional 45 actually stands for something, right? Like Greg Glassman invented CrossFit. He invented a whole way new of doing fitness. And so like, for instance, my wife has the HER method, right? Her process is the HER method. And what the HER method is it's how we are able to help ladies lose up to 24 pounds in 16 weeks with a realistic approach that integrates effortlessly into your busy life. And so she is able to get ladies fit without having to go to the gym. They do 30-minute at-home workouts 4 to 5 days a week. They're not doing any sort of meal plans. They're not doing any sort of macro tracking. She has created a food diary system and a process that she's been able to use to help ladies lose all kinds of weight without, again, it's like very sustainable. It's very realistic. It's very approachable. And she has created her own method. She has taken her own fitness journey and the things that she has learned and compiled all of that insight and all of that wisdom into her own unique way of doing things, right? In my fitness business, I have the M3 method. And the M3 method is made up of the MVP training system, which is the minimum viable physique. It's quick, effective workouts where you can get in 30 to 45 minutes. You can get into the gym, you can get out, have meals made simple. And again, all of this stuff, it's just like, that's like my unique method. And I just teach people the things that I have personally done to be able to grow a business and still make it to the gym and still reach my fitness goals, right? And it's based off of my personal journey and the things that I've done, my unique insights in the ways that I've actually helped people. And so these are the reasons why we're able to charge these high ticket prices of 2K, 3K, 5K, is because we're not just selling fitness programs. We are selling a lifestyle. We're selling a transformation blueprint. We're selling our unique method that we ourselves have created and invented. And so we help you with all of that stuff. All right, here's Kala talking about hitting his first, another client just signed up, first official 10K month. Here's Coach Jared talking about 11 discovery calls, 7 sales calls, 4 sales, 2 more pending, right? Just like all kinds of calls. And so like, this is what we help you with. We help you with all of this stuff. I come in, I've got all of the playbooks for helping you create your own unique method, your own unique process. We create a unique program to you based off of your story and your transformation and the way that you actually believe people should be doing health and fitness. We help you get all of the lead generation systems and processes and everything you need to do to actually take people from cold to sold. Again, in a way where it's not just like asking strangers to make these huge commitments. We first take people out, right? It's like you don't go up to somebody like randomly in public and just say, hey, do you want to get married, right? It's like, but maybe you go up to me and say, hey, I saw you over there. You looked really interesting. I thought you were very attractive, et cetera, et cetera. I want to come over there like, hey, do you want to go grab coffee, right? Like that would be a more like you would first go on a first date, right? So you would go on a first date, and then if that goes well, then you would look at going on a second date. And all of a sudden you're dating, and then all of a sudden you're engaged, and then you're getting married, right? So the relationship builds, and that goes all the way back to the core of everything I started this video with. How do we actually build relationships with my audience in a way that's authentic, in a way that's natural, in a way that actually fits human psychology and sociology and the way that we actually build real relationships versus, again, all of these weird salesy techniques that are out there of just like taking people and like dragging them over the line. It's like we don't do any of that. We create a world where we're posting the right content, we're positioning ourselves as a leader, we're showing up, we're providing value, we're giving people a very easy entry into our world where instead of going from stranger to being married, instead we have some different first dates, second dates people can take. They can ease into kind of working with us, they can get a little bit of value, and they can warm up to us so that eventually they would want to actually dive head in, learn our philosophy, learn our process, learn our unique method and our way of doing fitness and our lifestyle so that, ultimately we can create long-term clients, people that want to stay with us for a long time. Again, if we go back to the math, the money math is, we are building businesses in such a way where we make more money from keeping clients than we do from just signing them. So the reason why a lot of coaches never reach their goals is because they're always just have to sign clients. And the model that we use is built on signing clients, but signing the right clients who are actually a good fit for our program, and then working with them for a really long time, providing a ton of value so that they would want to stay a part of the program, because that's also where we can get the best results for people, right? If people are always coming into a 12-week program and then leaving, we never actually get those big transformations that really allow us to set ourselves apart as a true authority figure, right? So like, for instance, like a lot of these that I'm showing you, it's like if I hadn't worked with these clients for a really long time, for 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, I've had clients that stayed with me for upwards of 3 years, then I wouldn't be able to show you some of these bigger wins because almost all these people came to me and they were around, either they were at 0 or they were at 2K months, 3K months. A few people came to me at like 5K months, but most people came in and from ground zero, we built this thing all the way up. And so again, I help you with all of this stuff, all right? My wife and I coach you personally. We really only work with 30, 40, sometimes upwards of like 50 people per year inside of this specific offer. All right. It's one-to-one. We come in and like I said, we are helping you. We are helping you build out. We're showing up the playbooks. We're actually coaching you. This is not just a group program. We're not just going to throw you in a Facebook group. We're not just going to tell you, hey, go watch a bunch of videos and figure it out on your own. We actually partner up with you and help you build your business. So with that being said, if you already have a call booked in with me, I can't wait to chat. If you've watched all this and you're getting to the end of this and we're not booked in for a call, or you would like to talk to me, or you'd like to figure out, hey, would this process even be a good fit for me? Comment back, like reach back out to me in the DMs, comment Scale Partners. All right. So just drop the word Scale Partners, and I'd love to see if we can possibly help you. So that being said, hopefully you got a lot of value out of this and you're feeling maybe a little bit more clear on what direction you need to go inside of your business. With that, we'll chat soon. Peace.